Hello, everybody, and welcome to the day 19 of my Forex trading journey. Hope each and every one of you is having an amazing week so far. This is indeed Friday. This is our last day of the trading week together before we go ahead. We take the weekend to rest, we take the weekend to recuperate, we take the weekend to recalibrate, and then we do it all again on this coming Monday. So, as we can see, we're getting into two buy trades, one for platinum, one for silver right now. Just to review or go over exactly why we're taking this trade. Of course, we have that up arrow right there, but I can also see that we have a very nice, solid uptrend developing right now on silver. And using that, and plus I also do see that there was a support. If I could just bring this right over here. Okay, there we go. A nice support over here that price has failed to break. That gives us not only just the arrow to look at, but also a couple of other confirmations as to how come we would want to go ahead and get into that particular buy. And then for platinum, I could see that we do have a very nice support right over here. I could definitely see that there is a support where the up arrow was seen right where that wick or the low open of the previous candle happened, and because price failed to break that particular support line over there. And we're going to go over support and resistance again for those that haven't been able to see the journey or hadn't started from day one of this particular journey yet. We'll go over specifically what support, resistance means and all of that, but do know in layman's terms, price didn't reach that particular area or failed to go below that point. We are in an uptrend. We see an up arrow, and so we're going to go ahead and take that buy trade right over there. So we've got two buy trades currently in development with our eyes on both the gold versus euro and gold versus the United States dollar to see exactly, okay, which particular pairs are going to open themselves up to trade opportunities for us. So we're going to go ahead and let those trades play out. But in the meantime, while we do that, I do want to go ahead and bring up the book that I was alluding to, or we had talked about just a little bit on day 18, called Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Now, we talked about some important questions and in terms of what we want to go ahead and answer for ourselves as far as what what are we dealing with currently, what was our the ish in a sense that we're dealing with. And of course those are questions that you want to answer for yourselves, and whether you want to share that out to the world or make it private, that is most definitely up to you. However, moving forward, and again, I would definitely recommend that you pick up "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins. That's the second book that I read that really helped me in terms of gaining a better self-development perspective. 10X by Tony Robbins was indeed the first book, but then the next book after that would have definitely been "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins. I definitely appreciate the book and the lessons that it taught me when I read it about a year ago. And so I am definitely envisioning that this book will also do the same for you. But coming back now, so the next thing that I want to talk about is, coming eyeball to eyeball with yourself and getting raw and getting real. Now, what I mean by that specifically is, as far as how we want to go ahead and look at what we're doing. So a lot of it is going to come down to the tools that we're using, but a lot of what we're also doing is very internal. It is very much, we have to look at not only the Forex markets, right? But we also have to go ahead and look at ourselves and making sure that we again, are holding ourselves accountable for the results that we are producing on here. And one of the things I have learned about the Forex market is it's going to, for lack of a better word, expose you to the type of character. We do see that we have now the buy arrow moving on to the next candle. So as long as that candle closes right there, then we're going to go ahead and be able to take a buy trade off of that. So we're just kind of waiting for what that how that candle is going to close for us. And so just kind of coming back here, we have to understand that this market is going to expose us to who we are initially as far as and we do have now the buy arrow coming onto gold as well. So that will be another opportunity that we're looking at. So we have got about 2 other trade opportunities as long as that candle, the 5 o'clock candle, as long as that at 5:15 closes with both those buy arrows intact, we've got 2 more opportunities that we're going to go ahead and get into. But coming back to the point, what we are looking for specifically is we need to make sure that we're looking at ourselves and understanding first who we are right now. Because again, this is a journey. So when you first start out, when you start out your day one of your own journey, what you're essentially doing, and just to come back to where I was at, when I first started, I was very much naive, a lot to learn, still a lot to learn. And one of the things that I noticed about myself is that I definitely was the one to jump into everything. I was very impatient. I was very, I looked at something, I looked at back then it was a trade signal, and I said, ooh, let me go ahead and press the buttons to go ahead and get into the trade without really understanding the reasons I got into the trade. Now, as far as what I do now, of course, I do jump into trades still. I'm not, one of the things that I think I benefited from by doing that, if I can, look more at the bright side of it, is the fact that nowadays I'm not necessarily afraid to just get myself into a trade. No, I'm very much okay. We see what we're looking at. Our confirmations are indeed lining up. There is no reason for me not to push the button and live with the results. And over time, as we go ahead and as we move forward throughout this journey, we're going to go ahead and understand that we can definitely do the same thing. We do have that ability to get into these markets, and we have the ability to also be able to understand, okay, I'm starting out like this. I'm starting to take these trades like this. Is there something internal inside me that is giving me this particular character in the market when I first start off? And then over time, as I've gone ahead and as I've learned a little bit about the markets, I realized, I'm definitely open to learning, definitely open to coaching, which in turn has allowed me to now share as much knowledge as I can and also be comfortable with sharing what I know and sharing what I'm doing with the YouTube verse. And at the same time, I was also very uncomfortable with doing this before, as if, it was taboo to show, okay, I am prone, excuse me, I am prone to making mistakes out in this market. And, I don't think people would want to go ahead and see that. Those are a lot of those things that, prevented me from really doing something like this. And now, as I've come to realize, the matter of the fact is that, I just got to go ahead and put those fears put that over to the side and do the things that I still need to do in order to make sure that what I'm doing is allowing myself to move forward in the right direction, still gain the knowledge that I need to be able to become a better teacher as we move forward throughout the days. We're just starting things off here. We're about to day 19, and from what I envision, of course, there are things that are still needed to be learned in this market, even after my 1 year and 11 months into my own journey as a trader. I know there are still things that I need to learn, and I will continue to learn those things. Again, you never stop the process of learning because there's always something that you can take away from either experience or information that you gather, as long as you apply it in the right way. So just kind of coming back to the story right here, my character when I first started was impatient or aggressive, if you will. And I was very coachable. I was a very learnable, I like to learn. And I was also very uncomfortable, or I was comfortable with being private with my results and not really fostering the idea of making something like this right here. And so that's what we want to go ahead and do is we want to first analyze, or we first want to go ahead and do a deep dive into ourselves and understand, okay, what makes me tick in these markets? What makes me want to go ahead and dive into these markets? And what type of person am I starting out with? And then over time, you're going to realize, okay, for example, for me, I definitely need to be a lot more patient. I definitely need to go ahead and come up with a strategy or continuing strategy that evolves, that allows sustainability on my account. I need to go ahead and put into practice, okay, what is a method that I could do in order to not only properly build my account, but make sure that it's on a stable foundation. And so those are the things that you're going to develop over time as you continue to watch these videos, as you continue to practice. You are going to definitely figure that out on your own as well. But that first step, just kind of coming back to, or circling back to our main point here, is you have to come eyeball to eyeball with yourself and get raw and real. You have to abolish the ego and take the first step towards becoming the real you. And it is tough. I'm not going to lie, because your ego, my ego was, I'm just going to continue to do the same thing and expect different results, not understand the definition of insanity and how that works. So, it's a very uncomfortable place to be when you're facing yourself and you're realizing who you've been, where you are, and what you are about to come. But at the same time, you have to understand the flaws within yourself, the weaknesses within yourself, while also understanding the strengths within yourself as well. For example, one of the strengths is the fact that I was very learnable and I was very coachable. And that alone, as well as having my aggressive side, allowed me to refine my aggression into a way that, while being impatient was a weakness, I didn't necessarily have to focus on that, as long as I put my aggressiveness along with the learning and coaching aspect. I used more of those traits instead, because at that point, if I focused on those particular strengths, then I would, in one way or another, help out that particular weakness. So I got myself into another buy trade on platinum. I've gotten myself into another buy trade with silver, and I'm about to take my first buy trade into gold right now. So we've got we just took 3 more trades at the start of the 515 candle. So I just want to let everybody know what is going on. So with that being said, what we also want to do is we want to write all of our insecurities, dreams, and goals on a Post-it and tag up your mirror. It's okay to be kind with yourself in these moments because we need thicker skin to improve in life. So for example, I've told everybody on a YouTube channel on the YouTube channel where I'm coming from and where I truly feel my weaknesses are, which is the fact that I'm impatient. So which is the fact that I'm not at one point in time I was not the best strategist, and I was doing things recklessly. And if you are able to admit that, that's the first step to, being able to build upon those weaknesses, is the fact that you are able to admit that you don't know everything or that there is a weakness inside you. And the idea is then that, okay, now I can go ahead and, using my strengths of learning and coaching, I can learn some of the things that I need to learn so that those weaknesses don't necessarily become a problem for me. And then when we talk about dreams and goals, right? So before this YouTube channel, before this podcast, whatever you want to call it, and that candle just moved on to the next buy candle, right? Or the arrow moved on to the next candle. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that shortly. But coming back to the point, what I was able to do once I was able to, or I should say before the podcast channel came into existence, I wrote down on a Post-it note, and I believe this was, sometime the week before. I wrote down, and it wasn't something that just, I had the idea for it. It was like, it just sort of came to me where, excuse me, it was, I wrote down on a Post-it note, podcast YouTube of my Forex trading journey. Teach how simple the journey is. And I got to admit, not to pat myself in the back, but, I wrote that particular Post-it note down. I put it in the office space where I record everything. And that has been essentially a guiding post for me. No pun intended. It's been a guiding post for me in order to say, hey, how come we're doing this podcast? How come we are, doing it day by day? Because, early mornings are early mornings, and my voice isn't necessarily it's not necessarily the most energized as of yet. That's why, of course, I had to now wake up around 4:30 as opposed to, waking up in my normal time. What was the point? What's the point? And when I have that Post-it note right there, that allows me to understand, okay, there is a bigger point to what I'm doing. There is a bigger point to sharing this information with the world. Now, whether it's a career goal, a lifestyle goal, or an athletic one, you need to be truthful with yourself about where you are and the necessary steps it will take to achieve those goals day by day. So again, everyone has been able to see on YouTube, in public, where we are at in this goal day by day, step by step. Now, there have been some beautiful moments, and ultimately there have been some very ugly moments in this market as well. However, we have been truthful in the fact that we don't leave anything behind. We show the results as they're happening, step by step, day by day. And what this allows us to do is to be very realistic with ourselves and gives us a sense of direction, a sense of progression, a sense of where we are in order to attain those dreams. Now, as far as career or lifestyle goals are concerned, that's where the journal comes into play. As you know, every day, or almost every day, we're not all perfect, so I don't get this done every single day. But the majority of my days, what I do on my journal is I write down, okay, I am so grateful now. Here, the top three goals in my journal. I am so grateful now that I am a world-changing emperor. I am so grateful now that I'm a 10, 11, 12 counting figure earner. I am so grateful now that I'm a global network every single day. And as far as a marker to determine where I am at that path, this is where the YouTube videos come into play. And I didn't really, and it's so funny, right? I didn't think of this podcast journey as something that would give me that answer right there. But it is funny that what we are doing, even if we don't understand it consciously, it's actually helping us understand, okay, this is where we are at. This is where we need to improve. This is where we need to refine what we're doing so that we can accomplish the goals and the dreams that we are destined to achieve. So that's what that's what everyone needs to do as well. We need to first understand, okay, what are our goals? Where are we at in the process, step by step, day by day? And from there, we can then work on ways to get ourselves moving in the right direction. Each step, each necessary point of self-improvement should be written as its own note. You have to do research and break it all down. Once that goal is achieved, remove the note and post the next goal of 2 to 5, or excuse me, just 1 second. Once that goal is achieved, remove the note and post the next goal until your ultimate goal is realized. And so what we're looking at right here is, again, we have to, or we're documenting each step, each point where we need to improve. I do watch these videos. I do watch these videos that I post, and I take notes, understanding, okay, what needs to be covered a lot more? What could be done better? What do we really need to what do I need to do in order to make a deep dive on? What are the concepts that are important so that this channel, your education, is refined to a way where you're getting the most important points. Now, I do feel I do have the old adage, or there's this old expression that no stone should be left unturned. And if I do feel, or if I can envision that there are more things that we could talk about in a specific point that I didn't do enough of a great job in terms of covering that point, then I need to go ahead and revisit that, because that's only going to help you on your own trading journey. And so being able to document that, do research, break it all down into more simpler, digestible points that the layman would be able to understand, that is what's going to help this education and this channel. And again, you don't have to you don't have to break it down in necessarily that refinement on your own, but it is important to know, okay, I'm at this point, I've been trading. This is where I'm at right now. And again, whether you want to record yourself on video or do a trading log, a written trading log, absolutely perfect. But you do, in at least some point, want to document where you are, where you're going, where you're headed, so that you have a clear direction of what needs to be done in order to move forward. And again, we look at these last couple of weeks. So, we go back to when we had that first setback, that first failure on Monday. We understand that, okay, this strategy that we have, while some of it worked, we have to tweak it a little bit. So now we move on to phase 2. And what I'm starting to notice is that there are some good things about the strategy, but there are also some other things that need to be worked on because we're certainly not moving in the direction that we are wanting to at this particular point in time. And so again, this is where we are going to work on this step by step, page brick by brick, day by day, so that we're able to see, okay, we had the step of phase one that didn't work. We had the step of phase two. This is where we're at. Step of phase three. This is where we're at. Step of phase four. This is where we're at. And we keep improving. We keep growing so that we can go ahead and realize the goals and dreams that we have for each and every one of us. Whatever your goal, you'll need to hold yourself accountable for the small steps. Self-improvement takes dedication and self-discipline. The dirty mirror you see every day is going to reveal the truth. Stop ignoring it, use it to your advantage. And if we think about it, this right here, when I stare at these charts and I record, it's as if I'm looking into my own Forex trading mirror as I review these videos and as I see myself trading. I'm going to know outright if I'm doing a great job or if I'm doing a crappy job. There is no there's no other way for me to say it, because I understand that, again, there were things that had to be improved along the way in order for me to get better along my journey. And there's no, it's not like I'm not critiquing myself. It's not that I'm putting myself into a state of perfectionism, if you will. All we're simply doing is we're understanding, okay, we're here. We've been on this journey for about 19 days. There have been some great things that we've been able to do, which we should document. All right. You want to make sure that you are indeed celebrating those moments that are helping you move forward in the right direction. Yet, I know that there are some things that could be worked upon, improved upon, tweaked upon, because some of the parts of the strategy that we're doing is definitely not working. So what are those things that we can eliminate? What are those things that we don't need to focus on anymore, so we can focus on more of those moments that we do win on our trades? And that's where being able to be honest with yourself is going to hurt. The truth most definitely will hurt. However, that truth in it of itself will also go ahead and set you free as well. And it's a beautiful thing, being able to go ahead and, look at yourself as you, or, I looking at myself as I've traded in the past and in the present, and realizing that all this is doing is just building us to a brighter future, even if we can't see those particular moments yet. And that's where, documenting the journey, that's where making sure I stick with my goals. That's where me writing down, okay, what am I doing this podcast YouTube for? What is the purpose and why is it that purpose? If I have that, the how will ultimately come, but we must first understand the what and the why in order for that particular how to be realized. And so we're waiting for these last 40 seconds right here in order to go ahead and take our next trade. And again, if you've not picked up Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, you must. I believe this is one of these are one of my top 5 books. The first one being, of course, Unshakable by Tony Robbins, but this is definitely, I would say, in my top 5. I'm not sure this would be number 2 for me. There are some other books that we are going to talk about at some point on the channel, or at some point on the journey, I should say. Oh, hold on, let me buy that. Let me buy. Oh, We don't got to do that for you, but that, okay. So what were we talking? Okay. So, as we keep moving forward, one of the things that we will definitely understand is the fact that there's so much material that's out there, so much very important material in terms of books that are out there that you definitely want to go ahead and if you don't want to wait for my own book recommendations, which by the way, the two that I want to share right now again is Unshakable by Tony Robbins and You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And I did this because these were book recommendations given to me by people that I respect in the Forex trading game. And so I would recommend if you are interested in learning about the skill that, there's other, as far as books, those are definitely some, but feel free to also explore what other books that you can find out there as well. There's a plethora of books that are going to be very helpful in terms of not only your Forex trader, your master trader development, but also your personal development as well. And we certainly want to make sure that with having that development or having that personal development, that you can go ahead and start to do the things that you truly desire to do. And so now that we've gone ahead and we've talked about that, I just want to show everybody where we're at on these trades right here. So of course, when we took our first trade for let's start with gold, we had our first buy arrow come at, where is my pen? There we go. We had our first trade here, then we took our second trade here. We're still definitely in an uptrend at this point. And so we're holding tight until proven otherwise. And then for silver, we took about two buy trades right here. The first one coming at the close of this particular candle, which directly led us to the 5 a.m. candle right here. And then, of course, the buy arrow moved on to here. And now we have at two open buy trades so far. Platinum, we went ahead and we took our first trade right at this particular marker. Then we had another trade right here, and then we had another trade right here. So believe we're in, three open buy trades so far, and then nothing on gold versus euro as of yet. So that's where we stand with our trades right now. And of course, we're allowing these trades to go ahead and play out. And ultimately, where these particular trades go is, that's where we have our exit strategy. So again, we talked about, the three things that we want to keep in mind as we move forward, the three most important things. That's trend, that's risk management, and that's when to enter and when to exit a trade. And each and every one of these things for us is very much interconnected with each other. They're not necessarily separate pieces, but instead they are pieces to the whole of our trading equation. And as long as we can understand that these are the sum of the parts to the whole trading equation, that is greater than understanding each and every one of those together. So I know that was a lot, so let me write that down. And of course, you probably know the old adage, the sum of the parts, and I'm probably messing this quote up, is greater than each individual part. In fact, I know for a fact I'm messing that quote up. So I'm going to go ahead and actually get the actual quote before I make myself more of a of a you-know-what than I already am right now. So, but I mean, we got to think, if we think of it like that, then we understand. Oh, Yes, I was messing that quote up. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts, right? So while it is important to understand that there are three things that we're looking out for, the sum, we understand that the whole of determining the trend, which helps us determine the risk management, which helps us determine the how to enter and how to exit a trade, understanding the whole of all that is going to help us move forward as we keep continuing to go through this particular journey together. It looks like we've got our buy arrow just moved over to the next candle. So we're going to go ahead and take a look into that. So when we realize that what we're doing, what we're testing is to help us with the whole of how risk management, trend, and how to enter and exit a trade, how all those things fall into line together. That helps us refine our strategy by making sure we keep all three parts or all three things in line as a collective, which helps us refine the strategy and accounts for everything involved and not just, one part over the other. And as we keep going, we're going to realize some other things that will help us as we grow as traders. But we also understand that in order to grow, we must take this particular action first so that we can understand, okay, it goes back to You Can't Hurt Me, that chapter that I covered with you guys. Each step, each necessary point of self-improvement has to be written down, but we have to take those steps first to understand, okay, what is the outlying point that is going to, okay, so I just got let's do this. So I just got the arrow disappearing there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So now we're just focused on gold and silver at the moment. Okay. So we understand that we're writing these things, we're documenting the journey step by step. And by doing that, it can only help us in terms of improving. But yet, if we don't take those steps, if we don't record these days, if I don't post these days, if we don't review these days, then none of that self-improvement or none of that development, that growth will come. So it's always imperative to make sure you take the action, even if you don't know what's going to happen, because that will help you get better as we keep moving forward throughout this journey. Just taking a look here. So right now we're just waiting on the next candle to close here within the next 6 minutes. So we're just waiting on that. And if we can go ahead and if we make sure that we allow this particular candle to close and if the buy arrow remains, then we'll go ahead and we'll take that trade. All right, everybody, we are back. And so we've got our buy arrow or a candle closing with the buy arrow moving to the next candle. So we're going to go ahead and execute a buy trade right there. And then we are also going to execute a buy trade right here as well for gold because the buy arrow did move over to the next candle again. It is what we are doing as far as our cost averaging strategy goes. We talked about platinum, how that candle disappeared, so that trade is no longer in play. And we are waiting to see what gold versus euro does as well. So I'm still monitoring these particular trades right here, and I'll have more information as we move forward. Hello, everybody. Just another quick update in terms of our trade. So we're going to go ahead and take a buy here on gold again. We did see that the arrow right here moved on to the next candle. The candle closed and the arrow is still there. So we're going to go ahead and take another buy trade right there. And silver, we are also going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to place another buy trade here on silver. Platinum and gold versus euro are not doing anything as of right now, so no need to worry about those two trades. But giving another quick update is we got another candle that is closing now. And again, we could still see that we are definitely in a uptrend still. We could definitely see, although there has been a little bit of a downturn in terms of our price or in terms of the trades we've taken so far. There's not a whole lot to tell me that we need to worry about changing course right now until, of course, the candle itself disappears. So we are still waiting to see how this particular trade will play out for both gold and silver. I'll be monitoring to see how these trades play out, and we will take it from there. All right, everybody, just coming back here before the close of the 6 o'clock candle right here. We could see that we have our buy arrow shifting over to the next candle right here on gold as well as silver. Because we have not confirmed that the buy trend itself is not over for either gold or silver, we're going to go ahead and take a buy right here. We're also going to go ahead and take a buy right here. And again, that's just our cost averaging strategy. And we did just see that silver just moved over to the next candle. So we're going to determine what will happen at that point for silver as we move forward. Again, if we are going to take another buy trade, we need to make sure that candle closes before we go ahead and do anything like that. So I will keep myself focused on these two particular charts right here, and I will be back when I have an update. All right, everybody. So we went ahead and we closed one of our gold trades that hit 30 pips in profit. So we've gone ahead and just done that right now, as you can see. So we can see that gold is rising. We can see that silver is rising. So we are just kind of making sure that all of our trades are moving forward in the right direction. So we're able to make sure that I believe that was our last cost average, that it was the one that we were able to take profit on. And we're just waiting to see that we're waiting to determine, I should say, if the other trades fall suit. We're just wanting to give you that quick update right there. But we did go ahead and okay, we're going to close that trade there as well. Just looking at silver right here, seeing what silver is doing. Okay, we're going to close that trade as well. So we definitely are moving forward in the right direction now. Again, there's still a few open trades on both gold and silver that we are paying attention to. But as you could see right there, we were able to go ahead and close some of those particular trades out while we were on the screen together. So I'm still going to be looking at these trades, but I just want to give you a quick update right there, and we'll be right back. All right, everybody. So we are back at it. So I'm going to go ahead and make a buy trade first on silver. And then we're just going to go ahead and we already have the arrow moving over to the next candle on silver. So we're just waiting to see what happens at that particular point. So we're going to see what happens in these next 15 minutes if that candle does indeed transition over to the next or if the buy, I should say the buy arrow remains after this candle closes. We'll go ahead and we'll take another buy trade on silver. In the meantime, we've got gold right here still playing out. The candle is not transitioned, so we do not have to worry about placing a buy trade on gold, at least for right now. Platinum and it looks like we have a buy trade now for euro because we have the buy arrow appearing right here. Now, I do believe this is because if I look at the support line right here, let me just go ahead and see right here. So, okay. So this would have been the support line just right over here where price would have had to broken in order for that buy arrow to appear. So we were able to see that, and it looks like gold is still moving in an upward direction, still moving in a uptrend. So we've got the three pairs that we're focusing on. We've got gold, we've got silver. I'm sorry, gold versus the United States dollar. We've got silver, and we also got gold versus the euro that we are looking at right now. So I will be monitoring all three of these trades, right? All three of these pairs, I should say, to see how these particular trades play out for us, and we will be right back. Okay, so I did have an update. We went ahead and we closed a trade on gold. I wish I was a little bit more quick to the trigger, but that is okay. We've got gold versus euro rising right now. We've got still we're doing a couple of silver trades still that are moving forward in the right direction. So that is our latest update on these particular pairs. That's where focus definitely comes into play. We want to make sure that we do indeed move forward in the right direction, and we are indeed doing just that for some of these trades that are taking place right here. So that is the latest update that I have for each and every one of these pairs, and I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, we are going to go ahead and stop that right there for gold right there. As we can see, we have went ahead and we gotten 30 pips in profit for each and every one of those trades that we saw. So we were able to win those trades on gold. We still have some stuff that we have to work on with silver as far as trades are concerned. And then for gold versus euro, we are still in that particular trade. So gold, we've gone ahead and we've won those trades. So I'm going to put that right there to the side, so to speak. And we are going to go ahead now and focus on silver and gold versus euro in the meantime. Right now, we're still waiting on that first trade from gold versus euro to play its part. And then as long as this candle closes within the next 8 minutes and the buy arrow does not disappear for silver, we will go ahead and we will indeed take that trade. So I'll be looking at those two particular pairs individually, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody. So we just went ahead and we did indeed close another silver trade out. So we've gone ahead and we closed that for about 30 pips of profit. So we are looking great on a silver right now at this particular moment. And of course, we're gonna stay here for just a few seconds because indeed this 15-minute candle is about to close very, very soon. And of course, we have the buy arrow right there. We had the buy arrow that's going to be happening in about 30 seconds. That candle will indeed close, transition to the next candle. So we will go, excuse me, we will go ahead and we will indeed move forward on that particular opportunity. So we've definitely had some activity happen within these of this first hour and 45 minutes, which is awesome. We still have a few open trades here and there that we want to make sure we do indeed take care of. And let's go ahead and let's get into that guy right there. So we just went into our next buy trade. So we are going to go ahead and allow now that particular trade to indeed play out. We're going to have gold also, I'm sorry, not gold. Yes, gold versus euro play out. And of course, gold versus USD as well as platinum. We've got sitting on the, even though we don't like doing this, we got them sitting on the sidelines until that next opportunity is indeed ready for them, even though we do have some open trades on them as present. So this is where we are at right now. This is what we are going to be looking at in terms of opportunities, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I am back, and I'm going to play a buy trade right here for silver because the arrow did move on to this particular candle right here, and it did close without the arrow disappearing. So we are going to go ahead and allow that to play out. Currently still in gold versus euro right now. That trade is still currently open. We do not have anything for gold versus the American dollar, and we do not have anything for platinum at this particular time. So we're going to go ahead and allow those particular trades to play out. And indeed, I will be right back to give everybody an update. Hello, everybody. So there was a lot to go ahead and digest while we were away for a little bit, but I just wanted to let you know that I was able to close first the gold versus euro trade in profit. We got our 3% and we got out of that particular trade right there. And as for silver, we were able to go ahead and close everything up so we can make sure that we stay in profit. There was a $3 trade or 30 pips trade that we won. And then we got to a point. So I did adjust the strategy a little bit, admittedly, especially because we are in some of the drawdown on some of the trades. I went ahead and I saw that in totality, and that's the beauty of my particular calculator right here. It allows me to determine, okay, in the totality of all my trades, I am up for a particular pair. So I went ahead and once I saw that I was up 1% with everything, a 1% increase in profit, including the trades that were in profit and trades that weren't, I went ahead and I closed those trades. That way I wouldn't necessarily have to deal with them anymore. So with that being said, what that means in the grand scheme of things, we have gone ahead and we have won both the silver trade. We have won the gold euro trades. We've won our gold versus American dollar trades for right now. And we have also, we're also working on a platinum at this particular time. So I will be en route to looking for the next opportunity. I will definitely let everybody know once I get that particular opportunity. We'll see it live, we'll get it covered, and we will take it from there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Longevity Trading Academy. This is Jordan Rosario, and on today's topic, we are going to talk about how you can place both the max indicator as well as the scalper software onto the same financial instrument chart that you're trading on, and also customize it based on each particular pair as well. And so what I want to go ahead and do first is just give a little bit of backstory to that. So understanding the financial markets for about a year and a half and trading on them, I understand the importance of making sure that you have all tools available in order to give you the proper confirmations in order to place a trade, whether it is a buy or whether it is in a sell in a specific direction. And so with these two particular pieces of software that both have their own unique uses, I can definitely show you on how you can go ahead, place both of those particular pairs. That way you're ready to go on them specifically. So let's go ahead and let's talk about that. So what we want to go ahead and do first is we want to go over to our templates. Now over on our templates, I'm going to left click on the templates and I want to left click on where it says max, because that will load up our max indicator. Now, as you can see, we have changed from our scalper software to our max indicator. Now, the bigger question is how can we go ahead now and place the other software, the scalper software, onto the same chart? All right, everybody. So we are back and we are going to go ahead and get ourselves into a sell trade for platinum. As you can see, we have gone ahead and the downtrend, the uptrend that we had before is no longer present. Platinum went into a little bit of a downtrend. So what we are going to go ahead and do right now is now take a trade for a sell in the opposite direction, because the bull market has switched over to a bear market at this particular point. We want to go ahead and reflect that we are shifting our focus from buy trades over into sell trades. So we've got into our first sell trade on platinum on this particular point. And then just taking a look at some of the other pairs. Well, the other pairs are no longer available to trade, so we'll have to leave them alone for right now. But currently, we are in platinum, and we are going to allow this thing to go ahead and play out for us. So again, right now, we are indeed testing this on a demo account to, again, make sure that there is validity in trading on this particular pair. What we want to understand is that the fact is I've only had about a week or two experience trading platinum, so I still have a lot to learn with this particular pair. And each day that we trade on it, each day that we take a trade on it, we go ahead and we build up or build upon that cumulative knowledge that we already know. That way we can go ahead and get things moving forward for us. So currently we're in this sell trade right now, and currently we are letting the sell trade play out for platinum, and I'll be back with further updates. All right, everybody. So we are back, and we're going to go ahead and take this buy opportunity on gold versus euro. We do have about 30 minutes before the close of the close of our trading session, I should say. Not the close of the market, but definitely our close of the trading session. And because we're trading on the 15-minute time frame, I would say that 9:45 would be a good point to end the day, just because that last candle, I don't think it's necessary to wait around and stay in. And then just taking a look at platinum right now. Right now, we're still kind of going through platinum in terms of what it wants to do, as far as still playing in the trade. So that trade is still playing out. And again, I will be focused on looking to get that closed at around the 9:45-minute time frame. So while we go ahead and have a few minutes before the end of our session, I figured I'd go ahead and just take a look at where we are. This is about day 19. So just counting off the weeks that we've been together, it's definitely been about 4 weeks. And we've been able to see so far, one strategy, how, and I'm wanting to overlay or overline what we've been doing so far. So, and just to give like a recap, if you will, we have gone ahead and we've seen one strategy. We've seen the ups of it, we've seen the downs of it, and ultimately the death of it, in order to change up our new strategy to what we're doing right now. And we're starting to see the results. Now, just as far as trading opportunities are concerned, I know that we're going to have a few and far between. We're not going to have as many as we did these past couple of weeks, but so far, all signs, besides platinum, of course, because we certainly need to refine the strategy on that, as we're not moving forward on that. And I can be honest about that particular point, right? I do want to be transparent, which is exactly how come I'm wanting to record exactly what I'm doing, showing everybody the updates as to how these particular trades are being met, the results, and ultimately the idea behind it is to not only keep myself honest as a teacher, right? Because I also have to understand I need to learn what I am doing and seeing if that is working for us or not, and how we can adjust in order to move forward. And on top of that, I also understand that by doing these trades, getting the experience and learning and reviewing them, this can only help our ultimate strategy grow as we have these particular accounts prosper. Now, I know that this past week, besides Monday, we've been trading on a demo account. The plan is to go ahead and trade on a real account, especially because I really want to show us the real results and not necessarily just stuff that you can virtually trade on. We want to go ahead and see this actually prove tangible results, right? And ultimately, that is going to indeed happen. It's just a matter of, especially because I only tested this for one week, I would definitely love to see another week of testing to ensure that there's a little bit more of a longevity when it comes to this strategy, because we don't want to necessarily get caught up in the same situation where we took a week to practice and then we ultimately added silver on the real account with the one that we were trading on gold, and ultimately that particular strategy fell apart. So we definitely want to be careful on that. So another week of practicing, testing, and again, this will help us only grow together as traders. And what I also want to go ahead and do, because I know that there's a lot of questions that I might necessarily not know people have questions about. So if you do have any questions, first and foremost, feel free to drop a comment on the YouTube channel. Just let me know what kind of questions you have so that we can get these addressed on a later video. And of course, feel free to contact me on Facebook. This is my Facebook right here. Feel free to contact me on Instagram. This is my Instagram right here. And also feel free to contact me on Twitter. And this is my Twittergram. Did I say Twitter? My Twitter profile, my Twitter username right here. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, those are all the channels that I am actively on, that I look at. I do plan on adding more channels in the future because I know not everybody uses Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. However, as we need to say as we practice Kaizen, we have to understand that it's at one step at a time, one piece at a time. That way we can move forward in the right direction. And again, I'm looking forward to this journey. I'm looking forward to each and every step of what we're doing. And again, all we're really building up is a cumulative knowledge that we can use for the days ahead. And of course, I know that there are some topics that I need to take a deeper dive into, especially because I don't feel like I did those particular topics justice. I felt like some of the topics we covered were I covered them on the basic art of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not artificial, the shallow or superficial. Yeah, shallow, superficial side. So I really want to go ahead and I want to do a real deep dive into all these topics to make sure that we're getting as much education as possible. Again, this channel should not only be treated as, hey, look at me trading, but it's also a channel where we can learn and practice the concepts of trading and any other concepts that will help us moving forward as we go ahead and as we do this particular journey together. Now, another thing that I also want to go over is the fact that we've covered 4 pairs so far. So my goal is to look at trading 1 new pair a week. So we are indeed going to have another pair being traded on, which will ultimately involve me adding a new MetaTrader 4 platform, so I can have 5 of these guys up. And ultimately, I don't know necessarily what pair I want to trade on at this particular point. My goal would also to base this on, as we did from day one, I want to base this on a $100 account. So I want to trade on something that is, well, if I'm going to trade it on $100, it's not going to kill me in the long end, in the long term, so to speak. So we'll look on getting a particular pair out. I don't know what that pair is, but I'm sure you will find the answer when we come to day 20 of our journey. And again, I know that everything is a step-by-step process, Kaizen, day by day, step by step, trade by trade. And I do indeed envision that we are at least learning a few things on here. I don't know how much you're learning from me. I certainly don't have that quantitative measure on the top of my head, but if you're at least learning something that allows you to move forward and grow on your journey, then that's really all I care about at this particular moment. So right now we are just wrapping up here. We've got about 7 minutes before that candle closes. We've got platinum still kind of going on right here, and just taking a look, gold versus USD, and I'm sorry, silver, nothing doing, and then gold versus USD, nothing doing over there as well. So really, we just have these 2 pairs that we're left trading on, and then we are going to go and move forward from there. And of course, not only do I do this particular series, I also have another series called Mastermind Interviews. And I hope each and every one of you have been able to check out the amazing interviews that I had with Von T. Such a blessing to have him on the show. Very fantastic. His hit single, he is absolutely crushing and absolutely killing it. And I have no doubt. In fact, I guarantee he is going to be moving up in the world just absolutely tremendously. And of course, you were able to also hear my dear friend, host of the Boston Ballin podcast, Gabby Hurlbut, absolutely fantastic individual. And I have no doubt that she is also going to be absolutely crushing it the rest of this year. So check out those interviews. And I also have a few other interviews planned as well. When all that is going to take place, I don't know. Of course, I don't know the how, but I know the what and the why. So at least as long as we have that, everything else can be figured out after that particular point. So we got about 5 more minutes before these candles close. And again, what I want us to do, just for a little bit of homework, is if you're not practicing on your demo account, please do that. Second off, if you've not gotten either of the books, as I have that loud voice coming in, if you have not gotten the books Unshakable nor Can't Hurt Me by, Unshakable by Tony Robbins, then get the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Please get those particular books. They were super, super, super important when I first started getting the student mindset, when I realized, hey, I still need to learn more and I need to explore what I can learn. And those two books really helped me. And of course, we still got a lot to talk about with Can't Hurt Me. We still got a couple more days that I want to go ahead and break down. And of course, we'll definitely have to do a deeper dive into Unshakable as well, and some of the more important topics that I have covered as well. So that is also coming again, whether it's this week or whether it's the next couple of weeks. We don't know how it's all going to happen, but I know the what at least. So we'll move forward from there. And then other than that, yeah, it's just been a blessed week to trade. I'm very grateful to be able to trade this week. I've had some long, great videos. I had one short video, 7 minutes on Wednesday. And again, you can't really allow the market to tell you what it's going to do. We can't necessarily predict what the market is indeed going to do for us. All we can do in the grand scheme of things is just allow us to understand that we can indeed move forward in the right direction. And it's all just a matter of, taking things as they come, whatever come will may. And again, I do hope everyone here has a absolutely amazing weekend. This is the last day of September, so September will be no more. So as Green Day would say, wake me up when September ends. Well, when we officially awake tomorrow on Saturday, September officially has ended. So that's perfect. I'm looking forward to October, of course, Halloween and getting deeper into the fall season. Shout out to all the Libras that are out there. This is Libra season for you. And then, of course, at the end part of October, we've got Scorpio. Yes, I am an astrologist. Yes, I've talked about that just briefly. And for those that are interested, I am thinking about planning of course, it's not going to be too deep delve. Forex is the most important part here, but astrology is very important to me, my spirituality, and I don't mind taking a few videos and here and there sprinkling them on the cake of I don't even know how to even say all that in a right sense, right? But more to the point, I plan on sprinkling a few videos here and there to talk about astrology and just some of my thoughts and research on it, and we will go from there. So a lot of beautiful things that are happening on this channel, a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, more to come. And again, it's a day-by-day process. And for those that are looking to do the same thing, again, just take it day by day, step by step. I wasn't comfortable at first producing a channel like this. I wasn't comfortable showing something like this out to the public because, what would they think of me? What if I screw up? What if I fail? And now that I've gone through that ringer, things are a lot more easier on my shoulders, a lot more easier on my plate, to where I can go ahead and just be very blessed that there's still a lot of work to do, a lot of work to go. And again, I plan on doing this until I'm 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 plus years old. Granted, I'll be forever grateful if the universe says, hey, you're going to live for that particular time frame. Time will tell on that point. However, I'll throw it out there and see if the universe will, or not see, but envision the universe will give me that particular gift. So we have about, my little thing here is frozen. That's absolutely perfect. And when I say perfect, not really perfect. So let me do this. We're going to get these closed. We're going to get these. That's okay. So what we're going to do here is there. All right. So have you awakened yet? Yes, you have. Okay. Don't know what happened there, but that is for another day to figure out. So we're going to close that trade right here and get a little, about 10, 15 cents on there. And then I'm going to go ahead and place a buy here to end our trading right there with platinum. We have ended our trading with gold versus the euro. We have ended our trading with gold, with the silver versus the American dollar, and we have ended our trading with gold versus the United States dollar. So that is the week, all in a nutshell. Everybody, I am forever grateful for each and every one of you that has come on to these particular days, just watched, took some notes, was able to incorporate something that will help you move forward in the right direction in your own journey. And do know I'm very excited about what is to come ahead in this next upcoming week. So everyone have a fantastic, beautiful rest of your weekend. We'll be back on here for day 20 on Monday, October 3rd. October 3rd. And happy trading.